Alright, another response video to Joe. We'll continue the conversation a little further. Maybe, possibly, hopefully we can get somewhere, but I doubt it. But anyway, we got nothing else to do, like I said. Alright, it's on Nick video. I did this video previously in high definition, and high definition screwed up. And besides that, I saw that Nick kind of made my point that this whole the larceny by the bankers is a tiny percentage of what ails the economies of the world. Yeah, it's bad theft, it's stinks, it's rotten, but yeah, it's a tiny percentage of the capitalist rot. And it's about this capitalist rot. It's about capitalists making huge profits on every dollar the government spends. A giant chunk of it goes to these managers, these executives, and these owners of companies. It's a huge, big, fat fraud. Yeah, but then there's a lot of employees too making money, and that's good. But the bad thing is those government union employees have their unions, and they're invested in the capitalist game. They have their pension money in the stock market doing the capitalist interest gathering thing, expecting a profit for doing no work. Here they are, they know what work is. They put their money in the stock market and they expect to get a 7% return without doing any more work. I mean, what are they basing it on? What are they getting? What do they think they're getting that reward for? Their pension fund should increase without them doing extra work? And the unions don't understand how that concept is flawed? Anyway. But that's a tiny percentage too. That's not the whole game. It's this rich man's game, and you're still talking monetary system, monetary system, monetary system. Monetary system is responsible for a few $billion. All right. Yes, it might secure $400 billion worth of assets a year, but it also takes back money every year. Okay, so it collects money back every year too, and the net amount of new money that ends up in this system per year is, over the last 3 years, yeah, it's been a huge amount, because yeah, we didn't borrow the money, we printed the money to buy our own treasury notes and do some other shifty things. So yeah, we've increased the money supply, the amount of currency, let's call it that, not money supply, wrong word, the amount of currency in circulation by pretty high percentage numbers. But again, we're talking about $2 trillion of currency. We're not talking about $1 zillion worth of currency, and it's not the game. And so even if the bankers thieved 10% of it or 20% of it, it doesn't really matter. And my argument would be is they didn't thieve any of it. They make money on loans. They make money on all transactions. So every time stocks are traded, they make money. There's all kinds of ways for these banker types to secure their gain on manipulating the economic system. Not the monetary system, the economic system. Okay, so I'll play your game. The economic system. That's what we're talking about. That's where the problem is. It's the economic system that's broken. The monetary system, how you create this fairly meaningless currency, and it is fairly meaningless, Joe. Come on, it's not the game. It's not what rich people are trading right now. It's not even what most people deal with all the time. They trade deeds. They trade things they have, stuff. The currency is a minor thing. The only thing currency is important is that you have to pay taxes in currency, and you get paid in currency usually. I mean, a lot of payment now is in the form of benefits, which kind of screws up the whole system. But that's the game, though, is the currency has to retain some kind of meaningful value because people get paid with it. And this idea that you can just go print it is very dangerous, because you can erode the value of what people are getting paid and erode the value of what they're paying in taxes, which means that they'll have to pay more taxes. So that just doesn't work for me. And again, I don't even want to argue it. It's trivial amounts of money. It doesn't have anything to do with the systemic problem with the economy, which is that we are basically required to ask the rich to, we're basically, Nick won't deal with this, but we're basically required to ask the rich for permission to consume. All right? There's no problem. We can consume, and there's producers that can produce. The problem is that we have to ask the permission of the rich, the owners, to consume and to produce. They'll tell us how much we can consume and how much we can produce. And it's not like when we borrowed this money, we ate somebody's liver and we have to give them back their vital organ. I mean, understand that. We borrowed surplus, okay? We borrowed what some rich person said, oh, I have a big pile of this I inherited from granddad, okay? Yes, you may borrow some of this, okay? Because I have a big pile of it that I inherited, this ownership thing. So I will convert my ownership into liquid assets and allow you to borrow the liquid currency, the liquid assets. And that's all that takes place here, is rich people have a big pile of stuff, they convert the stuff into cash, and they allow it to be lent. And all the Federal Reserve is doing is helping liquidate more of those assets into cash so they can be borrowed. But the same process would still take place without the Federal Reserve injecting the money that way, the new money. It really doesn't matter where the injection point is. I mean, you can think it matters, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, whether they subsidize, tricky word, or whether they facilitate lending, or whether they facilitate consumption, it doesn't matter. Lending is converted into consumption. And what matters is that there are people who control all of these assets, and we have lived on borrowing their liquid, the borrowing on that paper definition of ownership. They own a stock certificate that actually isn't worth 10 cents, but it says on it's worth $50,000. They liquefy it, they lend it to somebody, they get a return on it, okay? And that's the game that's being played. But there's no vital organs involved here. So the whole system we haven't eaten something vital, we haven't consumed something vital that we must regurgitate back, okay, that we have to replace. I mean, we didn't steal somebody's liver and now we have to put their liver back. That didn't frickin' happen. And so this whole argument of Nix that somehow it's just critical. I mean, we borrowed a vital organ and we must return the vital organ, or we should get a spanking. I mean, it's just so ludicrous. I mean, we're going to kill people. We're going to fucking kill. He's talking about killing people, and he won't admit that the simple, rational solution is just to say, no, we're not going to kill people to give you ownership you don't need, a liver you don't fucking need. We're not going to take a liver out of human beings now living who are part of this society that got into the debt that asked too much permission from the rich people to consume, and we're not going to have people die to return to them a superfluous organ that they don't need. We're not going to pull organs out of living, breathing people so rich people can put them on their fucking wall. That's the scenario we're in. We are going to kill people so rich people can retain trophies. That's all this is about. Not so rich people can breathe and live and have a life. No, so they can put our fucking heads on the goddamn wall. That's what it's going to come down to. They're going to put our fucking heads on the goddamn wall, and you stupid fucks, I'm sorry, now I'm getting angry again, are talking like we can't go there. Even you, Joe. Oh, you're going to tax them? I mean, I just wasted my time. I'm a little pissed off because I wasted an hour of my time. I went and listened to an old Milton Friedman interview with Charlie Rose. Isn't that old? But anyway, and he's so full of fucking shit. So I don't know why you keep mentioning him as an authority on anything. The asshole basically said 3 years ago that the American economy was the strongest it's ever been in its history. That's what he fucking said. I mean, the asshole doesn't really get it, okay? That we've basically, all we've done, our whole economy is based on this. We've gone to China, stole a bunch of fucking productivity from those laborers, beat the shit out of them, stole their fucking value of their labor, and a bunch of rich people here profited from it. Now the rest of us are sitting here, and we're feeding off the crumbs those rich pigs drop. Okay? And that's what our whole economy has become, a service economy. We don't produce anything, we don't do anything productive because we're feeding off of these rich crumbs that these fuckers beat the hell out of the Chinese to get. Now what's going to happen is the Chinese have their own rich fuckers now. So they have their own pigs to whip and beat their own people. Okay? They have their own rich fucking motherfucking pricks. Alright? They have their own aristocrats in need of a guillotining. And they know how to sell shit directly now. They don't need the American middleman anymore. Okay? So it's all going to stop. The rich, greedy Americans aren't going to be making any more money. We're not going to be able to feed off their fucking crumbs anymore. Okay? But that's the real bullshit of all this whole fucking thing. And it's all created because these bastards have too much fucking ownership. And you can keep pretending it's the monetary system, but no, it's the economic system. And like your jackass friend Milton Friedman, there's no invisible hand that fixes anything. There's no invisible fucking hand. We have to make an invisible hand that does the constructive work that needs to be done.